If you are planning a trip to Thailand later this year, then you're going to want to watch this video because I am breaking down 4 of the most popular tourist cities slash islands within the country of Thailand. And you may have seen many of these on TikTok, on Instagram, on Pinterest. And in this video, you're going to get my reflections of the vibe, the feel, and what to expect from the pace within each of these locations. So Koh Samui, this one is about like southeast part of Thailand. Then you have Phuket, which is more on like the southwest side of Thailand. Then a bit north, you have Bangkok, which is pretty central and is of course the capital of Thailand. And then further north, you have Chiang Mai, which is like a completely separate unique vibe of its own. So I want to start with Koh Samui because this was my first introduction, my like first impression of Thailand, if you will. So I did have a layover in Bangkok, but I remember when I got off of the plane in Koh Samui, I was just like, where am I? Even like the airport itself, very small, quaint, cute airport, but you literally are surrounded by mountains, but you also feel the aura and just like the humidity of being on an island. And the more you get to explore the island, the more you see the beauty of the flora, the flowers, the plants, and then the bird. I don't know, just everything culminating together. It's a beautiful mix of like jungle, mountains in a bit, but also go down to the beaches and enjoy that. We did a safari-ish, like it was more of like four-wheeling through part of the more jungly mountainous areas. And then we stayed, it felt like on the mountaintop of one of the many peaks in the island. And we got to oversee the island itself. And then if you looked further, you saw the ocean. And it's just, the vibes are spectacular. The food was delicious. There's plenty to do when it comes to excursions and whatnot. There's many viewpoints, as I mentioned, like tons of mountains and all of that jazz. We stayed in a huge villa. I think it was like 10 bedrooms or something like that. It was massive. We had a pool that was then like overlooking the rest of the island and the water. So I keep saying we because my first half of my time in Koh Samui, I spent in a mastermind. And so it was several of us, it was at least 10 of us there. Yeah, there was at least 10 of us, but that was really nice to not really like start the journey alone. And then I went to the Kimpton in Koh Samui, which is like on the northeastern-ish part of the island. 5 stars. It's a very beautiful boutique hotel that is on the water. So you have it, you've probably seen it on TikTok if you've done any research of Koh Samui. It's one of the top hotels in the island. And I am, of course, if you are not new here, you know, I'm a Kimpton girly through and through. So that was a no-brainer for me when I did see that they had one on the island. It is a bit pricey, but for Thailand hotels, I will say, but the value you get, especially if you are part of their rewards program and, you know, have some type of loyalty status with them, you will feel like you're being treated like royalty. So Koh Samui is beautiful if you want relaxation, you want peace and quiet, you want to be surrounded by nature and beauty, like no matter what part of the island you're in. Very nice calm waters from the beaches that I went to on the northern side of the island and not too far of a flight from Bangkok. I think it was like maybe an hour or so. So that was the first island. The second island I'll go to is Phuket. Now Phuket is a younger, more party-like island, if you will. If you've been to like a Cancun and experienced like spring break there, imagine that on steroids, especially like in the Patong area of Thailand, of Phuket. So lots of bars, lots of clubs, lots of late night workers, if you will, and it can be a bit chaotic on the western side of Phuket. Now, on the eastern side of Phuket, I did host a retreat there where it was much more peaceful. I kind of equated it to like the Hollywood Hills or the Beverly Hills of Thailand, because the neighborhood that we were staying in, it was gated. It was just like mansions on mansions on mansions, like on this cliff overlooking the ocean. So that was stunning, and I appreciated that we got a feel for both sides of the island. I will say Phuket does not feel as luxurious and relaxing as Koh Samui is. The only reason I chose Phuket over Koh Samui when I hosted my retreat, where it was meant to be a luxurious and relaxing retreat, is that Koh Samui in November when I went has a very different seasonal feel than Phuket. So they were still in their rainy season in Koh Samui during early November when I went, versus when we went in December in 2024, they were like on the cusp. Like we went the first week of December and they were kind of on the cusp getting into the dry season. So that's one thing to consider for timing. If you are going in November, you're going to have a higher likelihood of getting the dry weather, which realistically, when you're going that far across the world, like you are hoping to get good weather. So keep that in mind. Staying in the northern part of Thailand in November, and then the later part of November, like really considering Phuket, and then going into like mid to late December, you can venture into Koh Samui. Now, even though, thank God, we had really good weather for 4 out of 5 of the days that we were in Phuket, the last day, pouring rain. And with that, I will just say that then transferred into my solo time that I had, where it literally rained every single day in Phuket for the next 4 days. That was not fun. Sorry, it was the 15th through the 19th that we went to for the retreat. The 19th, I know that because it was my birthday, and then I transitioned into solo, and I will never spend my birthday solo ever again, because I just felt very lonely on my birthday. But that's not the point of this video. So I spent the 19th through like the 23rd or something by myself in Phuket. It literally rained the entire time. I actually transferred hotels to one where it actually felt like more of a rainforesty jungle experience. It's called Dinzo Hotels and Resorts. It was beautiful. Also part of the IHG family, and got to use my points and loyalty status there, so that was cute. But Phuket, all in all, you're gonna get the island feel. Their beaches were not as nice as Koh Samui, but they were pretty nonetheless. Now, if you are going for more of the rah-rah and want to have the party scene and go to the nightclubs and experience a bit like faster pace on an island, then Phuket may be for you. If you do want more of the relaxing feel, and maybe you are planning your trip in November and don't want to be experiencing too many rainy days in Koh Samui during that time, then you could consider Phuket, but stay on the east side of the island, where Yamu Village, that's the area that we stayed in that was very upscale, luxurious, and peaceful as a whole. So hope that gives some context for Phuket. Now let's go a bit further north. Bangkok. People don't believe me when I say this, but the closest city that I can connect Bangkok to within the US is New York City. And my husband and I were doing some research on Bangkok recently. They actually have a higher population of like people per square footage in Bangkok than they do in New York, which says a lot. You have a nice mix of, the high rises, but also one of the last times, I'm trying to think, November 2025, I split that trip into 2 as well. So the first half of my time in Bangkok, I was doing a boot camp with 3 other women. And so we were staying in a villa, and it was called Shan Villas, but they have homes, but there's also your skyscrapers, your high rises, your just hustle and bustle. The fashion scene is incredible, very fast paced, tons of different modes of transportation. You could see tuk-tuk, you could see, bikes, you could see cars, you could see vans, any mode of transportation you could think of is going to be sliding right past you in Bangkok. So very fast paced, very high energy, very much like truly is like feels like a city. If you're looking to go to Thailand for medical tourism, you want to spend some time in Bangkok. They have some phenomenal hospitals there where you can get like state of the art screenings. I did a video a few months back at this point where I talked about my experience at the Bumrungrad Hospital, which is one of their private hospitals out there. Phenomenal 4-hour experience where they looked at my chest, my heart, all of my internal organs within my abdomen, from the spleen to the gallbladder to kidneys, reproductive organs, everything, all for less than $600. It was phenomenal, and I recommend it to anyone I know that's going to Thailand. So if you are looking to get any of those screenings, hormonal panels, anything like that, you absolutely want to be in Bangkok. You have your parks out there, so if you do want to get some greenery and just get away from all the noise, like there are plenty of parks in Bangkok as well. So overall, just high level, very fast paced, very high energy, lots of medical tourism opportunities, amazing food, of course, tons of spas, tons of places to get massages. That goes for any city really in Thailand. Next time I go back, I cannot wait to lay on that bed and get some Thai lady getting that forearm all up in my back. I really look forward to that, but that's not the point of this video either. All right, so that's Bangkok for you. Think of New York City, but in Thailand. And also really quick, tons of delicious markets, like tons of night markets for you to go to, tons of even just like food stands. One thing to note about Thailand is most people actually get their food like on the go instead of cooking. And so you will see in the morning, they'll have, eggs, breakfast sandwiches, all that jazz, fruit stands everywhere. So it's really, grab and go and a fraction of the price of what you would pay here in the US. So that's Bangkok. Now, finally, let's go up to Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai was very calm, very peaceful. They have several elephant sanctuaries up there, several ethical elephant sanctuaries up there. And I did go to one while I was there. I also did a cooking class up there. Now, food in Chiang Mai is my favorite out of all of the cities in Thailand that I mentioned in this video. I did a food tour in Chiang Mai. No, sorry. I did a cooking class in Chiang Mai. I did a food tour in Bangkok, and I did a food tour in Phuket. Phuket has, especially like Old Town Phuket, has a very deep and rich Chinese influence in their food. There's a lot more fried food down there compared to the freshness and just the quality. Khao soy is what you will find in Chiang Mai. If you've ever had that, like having some true authentic khao soy, man, it's a beautiful experience. So yeah, I definitely recommend, like if you are looking to do any food tours or cooking classes and have had the khao soys, the pad thai, of course. The curries are all phenomenal up in northern Thailand. Chiang Mai just felt very peaceful, airy, and there was a ton to choose from when it came to excursions. So as I mentioned, I did the cooking class. I went to a elephant sanctuary where it was literally, I think it was like 6 hours that we spent out there. So that was beautiful. I even spent days where I literally just woke up and walked around and was like, let's just see where my heart takes me. And those were some of my favorite days, honestly. They have some beautiful cafes up there that, I don't know if I have the links to them, but I have a ton of those videos on my Instagram. Now, in Chiang Mai, I stayed at their Intercontinental Hotel, and it was beautiful. It was definitely one where the rooms were lovely. The pool was nice. It wasn't my favorite hotel out of the ones I've been to in Thailand. The Intercontinental Bangkok was also a beautiful one too. but you can find very inexpensive hotels in Chiang Mai and still feel like you are staying at the equivalent of a Ritz, which I'm pretty sure they also have a Ritz there too. So yeah, that is the overall vibe for Chiang Mai. It is very lush, very peaceful, laid back, relaxing. If you want to spend extensive time in ethical elephant sanctuaries, highly recommend going there for that as well. And the cooking, I don't know, just the food up in Chiang Mai is my favorite of them all. That is my take on all 4 of the locations within Thailand that I mentioned during this video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section and I will respond to you. And if you enjoyed this, please be sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.